Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Democratic View. And I am the hostess. My name is Phyllis Italiano. And with me today, I have a young man. I know he likes to be called a young man, who we've had here before. It's one of the guardians of East Hampton, a naturalist, a photographer, and someone who has actively been involved cleaning up what other people carelessly throw around. And his name is Dell Cullum.
I always love your introductions. They're so wonderful. Hi, Phyllis. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, it's really a pleasure because I have been watching your show. I catch it every once in a while with the imagination nature. And I tell you, sometimes I'm walking by the television in my bed and I have to stand, mesmerized, looking at it. I mean, the things that you've done, raccoons. Whoever had a positive, I mean, raccoons, we always think, oh, they're at my apple tree, you know.
Absolutely.
But now I think of them very differently.
Differently. Wonderful. Good to hear. That was
Yeah.
the whole intention of the episode.
And you did a one on, you know, the bird that swoops down. And
Oh, the osprey.
Osprey.
One of my favorites as well.
And I look at that, I swim where there's an osprey nest, and I look at him and I say, I know what you do because Dell told me. You know? And the one about the fox den, and the mommy and the daddy and the little, what do they call them?
The little fox, the little baby fox, kit foxes.
Kits,
sure.
the kids,
Yep.
yeah. The little foxes. Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely fascinating. I couldn't move. I had to just stand there and watch it.
That episode was a non-planned episode, and as a lot of text subtitling in it because it was non-planned, and it unfolded just as beautiful as the story is. I mean, we rescued several kid foxes from a home in Watermill and relocated them at a den here with just the pretense of foxes can't count. So let's see, it's still within their litter range. Let's see if Mama will accept them. And after a tense 5 or 6 days, it turned out wonderfully. I mean, the mama accepted them, and it became a family of 10, 12 with Mama and the Reynard, the male. And it was just a beautiful thing to happen right in front of my lens, non-planned. I just filmed it just to get the data, and here it unfolded into one of the most beautiful stories I've ever had the opportunity to film. Very fortunate, Phyllis.
So there were the mothers, the vixens, own babies.
Exactly.
And
She had 6 in East Hampton, and I had known about it. Somebody had given me the information, and I took photographs of it. Meanwhile, I had a call of a mother and father being shot by a farmer, and the babies had run under a pool deck. And I was able to rescue all 4 of them. It took 4 days, and we had to trap them, but it happened, and we reintroduced them one at a time. And they were accepted one at a time, and then they were left, and we got really nervous. They were abandoned. And as the story unfolds, Mama came back, and she came back and took them in, and they ended up becoming a family. And you know, it's just the way nature is just works itself. It's just magnificent when you can stand back and watch it. But to be able to record it without interfering is key. And it's so wonderful to have been able to share that. And I'm glad. I hope for generations to come, LTV will share that, if any of my episodes, that one. It's very important.
so Dell, you're really a hero.
Well, no,
you are.
I think they are. I just helped it. I just helped.
Oh, please.
Nature would have worked either way. I just kind of brought a couple different families together to try to make them help each other, and they did. They did all the work. I just got them together. That's all. It was fun.
It's an amazing
It was fun. I'm glad you
Amazing
enjoyed it, and I hope everybody will continue to enjoy it. Yeah.
So, and also, first I do want to tell people that you are Banneker, born and raised
Absolutely.
here,
Oh, yeah.
Amagansett, right?
Amagansett grade school from kindergarten through 8, and East Hampton High School till I joined the service. Yeah, so a beautiful.
So, because what I really I'm trying to understand is how you got to this point of being so aware of the nature. I know I have 2 little grandchildren, and we're always showing them things about nature. A turtle comes out, they go fishing, the father sees an eagle. My son is a bird watcher type of thing. We try to get them to understand, appreciate the nature, and particularly because there's so much available here.
Sure.
And both of them live in cities,
And that's just it, Phyllis. There's so much here. As a young kid, I didn't know that. Whatever we saw was a wonder or beautiful if you were into that. I got to be honest, everything here that I remember growing up happened at the nature trail. And everything happened there. And that's why to this day, I will do anything to protect that small parcel of land. It's so important for not just nature and wildlife enthusiasts, bird watchers, but most of all, just the educational value for generations to come, for the kids, for adults, to be close to nature in our setting, in a village, in a town that continues to populate and push our wildlife away. We have this one spot where we have the brook, the water, the swamp, the bridges, the fauna, the floral, everything is there. Nature, just the way it's supposed to be. We need to get that protected. And I've been speaking with the village mayor, who's actually working on it, trying to get that information. Wonderful people like Diane Benson has also been involved, and Janet Dayton. We're all trying to push the mayor to see that it's very important that we save this parcel for the benefit that it will serve educationally and naturally for years and years and years to come, hopefully. Very important to me. That's where it all began, Phyllis, for me.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful way to be able to feel like that, to have that kind of, I wouldn't even call it appreciation, because it's deeper than
Oh, it's
that.
a passion.
It's really
It's a
deeper than
passion.
that.
It's much more than an appreciation.
Because I know how I feel. I mean, and I'm only Bronx born and raised, and I will say that there is one place I swim, which we call the Cove, and Terry Ganley, who worked for the town as I think it was planning board member, got this whole area preserved, and there's a rock there that has a little plaque.
Phyllis, it's so funny. I just was speaking to Debbie Ganley this morning. She came and visited me from San Diego, California, and we spoke about her family and how she was raised to love nature and wildlife. And she brought that with her to now where she lives in San Diego. She's a police officer, very, very highly commended police officer. And she still loves to go to the estuaries and all these places, the zoos and places where animals, because that is something she has never let go of. And it's funny you mentioned the Ganleys, because yes, they were very,
absolutely. When I go in there and I swim, because it's the warmer part of Gardeners Bay, so I swim there early, and I swim there late. So it's like April, May, and then September, October, because the water's a little bit warmer. And I bless that woman. Well, I look around and I say, oh my God, what a place. It's so gorgeous. And the osprey and the, what's the name of the one with the skinny legs also?
The egrets.
The egrets.
Yeah, and the herons.
I mean, and it's just amazingly beautiful. And when her son Frank comes in September, I say, I bless your mother. What a place. But we are very fortunate to have this, and we must keep it up. And one of the things that we have been doing now, you did part of the cleanup last February, I believe it was.
February, we did the shoreline sweep. We've done a few in between. We just did the first Gansett Trash Bash event in Amagansett, which was September 7th, I believe, which was great. We gathered people and we spread the message, this message that we're going to talk about. And it is part of the whole environmental scheme of nature and wildlife, and that is trash and litter.
Absolutely.
It's our plague, and it's either going to destroy us, or we're going to get control of it, demand it to end, and end it, and solve the problem, and end it.
So this is the particular new thing that we're talking about, which is the Adopt a Road.
Yes.
Now, who originated this?
Well, actually, the East Hampton Litter Committee, which is now changed their name. I'm actually a member. Deborah Klugers, who holds the chair for that committee, has been trying to give birth back to this Adopt a Road program. It's not new. It's been around. It faded out. Many of the people have either moved on or passed on, or just aren't involved anymore. So we got a separate committee together. I was actually part of it, but I had to step down due to other issues. But the continuing committee did a wonderful job, got together with Stephen Lynch, who I couldn't be more happy with for breathing life back into this wonderful program, because really it's the beginning steps of large-scale roadside cleanup. And not just your main roads. These are your side streets.
Right.
And the ones that people obviously care about most, because they get to choose. And these are the roads that they're choosing. Wonderful program. Hats off to Stephen and everybody in the committee who made this happen. I think it is the best time to have done it. And it just goes to show, you can only talk about an issue for so long. Sooner or later, you're going to have to do something. Stephen Lynch did something. Here it is. Brilliant job. I couldn't be more pleased. And
so how do I do it?
Did you get yours yet?
No, I didn't, and I want
okay.
to, because
Well,
I'm going to do Pembroke Drive.
Well, contact the town office, or speak to Stephen directly, or one of his fine secretaries there will be happy to give you all the information. I believe you can download the application off the internet. It's very simple to fill out. I was amazed. I mailed everything to him. A week or two later, I got it back signed. I didn't know what to expect next. I got a phone call. Your signs are up. They actually made signs with Imagination Nature and my Hampton Wildlife, and stuck them at the beginning of my road and the end part of the mile, which they were beautiful signs. I thought that was special, and to come realize they're doing it for everybody who gets involved, and I think it's wonderful, because you don't only have to use your name. You can do it in memory of somebody. You can do it as a group, a name, a family, or nothing at all. Of course, the whole objective is to clean up the trash. But I think by doing the name, it kind of lets people know who's responsible. And that's part of what we need. We need people to start taking responsibility again, not pushing this trash and litter issue off on other people. It's not my job. It's not my job. Don't worry, somebody else will pick it up. That's got to end, Phyllis. It's got to end. It's got to be, when you see a piece of trash, whether it's yours or not, it's your responsibility to pick it up and throw it away or hold on to it. whatever the case may be. It's just, it's simple actions that can easily be corrected. We just all got to get on the same page and decide to do it. And really, when I say simple action, I really mean that. You hold a piece of trash in your hand. What you do with that trash makes it either litter or something that was disposed of properly, or a non-issue. It's whatever you do. And it's that important. That simple action needs to change. Everybody needs to change so we can start to clean up. And it's already beginning to happen. I can tell already. I've been doing this for over a year, and I could see the streets, I could see the beaches, I see the town and the village doing more to keep up with the volume. And I really got to say, I think it's starting to catch on properly. Now, if we can keep it rolling, increasing the level of our work, we have tons of volunteers out there. They will not stop. They are so dedicated into just cleaning every day. You know, you pick up your trash. Nobody asks you to. You do it because you have to. You see it. It's not pretty. Somebody's got to do it. It's us. We do it.
Both the places where I swim regularly, I pick up every single thing.
Every day. It only takes a day worth of carelessness.
You know, some of it comes from boats. And I know the stuff that comes from boats because it's more towards the shoreline.
Sure.
Which, you know, is a little bit, because your towel's over there, so it means that you go down to the shore, you got to pick it up, run back to your towel, you know. And I try to remember to do it that way, because if it's, when I come out of the water, you know, I come out of the water, I'm a little drunk. You know, woo, I'm so happy, you know, I'm feeling so great that I will forget it. And then I think about it later. So I try to make sure I go back and put it by my towel, and then I will pick it up and deposit it where it belongs. But it's amazing how much I have to do. And as we spoke before, the cigarette butts are what really drive me crazy, because I'm picking up something that's from somebody else's mouth. And I really say, hey, come on, can't you just put it in your car and take it home with you? You have to put it around the edge of Flaggy Hole? You know, it's just unbelievable how unthinking people can be.
It's funny you say that what comes out of, you know, something picking up of what comes out of their mouth. I think of all the different articles that I've picked up and continue to pick up come from a lot worse places.
I know.
And it really gets, you know, borderlining obscene. But literally, anything is trash. Once it leaves your hand, depends where you put it, whether it's trash or not. Another quick thing I wanted to mention, I'm really going to start rallying for the dumpsters at the beaches. I don't think the cans, and I'm bringing this up because of something you said, having to go all the way to the can to dump something. I'm really against the trash cans, putting 9 trash cans at the front of the beach that still get overloaded. Okay, and when they start to get overloaded, they just put more, and they get overloaded. Then something new this year, they moved the cans into the middle of the beach. So now they're putting the cans halfway from the parking lot to the water. I don't understand this, because I'm saying you're moving the problem closer to the water.
Yeah.
You're also making it easier for people and letting them be more lackadaisical. Can I use the word lazy? Because really, lazy...
And you're not talking about a point.
No.
You're talking about people.
Lazy is litter's best friend.
Yes.
Okay? And to accommodate laziness by saying, here, we'll move the trash cans closer so you don't have to get up and travel so far, and then find that they still don't use them properly, it's just mind-blowing that this is allowed to continue all summer long. I'm proposing you get a dumpster out there where people don't have to touch the lids, because nobody wants to touch the dirty lids, so they put the trash on the outside of the can. They set it on the outside. And at that point, I'm not sure why that's not considered littering. If you're not putting it in a can, leaving it open for the elements and the wildlife, they had this coastal cleanup this past Saturday. Did you know about it?
Yes, I did.
It was a, international shoreline deal. I mean, everybody was doing it. I did it. I went to the beach the next day at Egypt Beach, and all the garbage that was accumulated from the coastal cleanup the day after was still sitting around the garbage cans. The garbage cans, Phyllis, were empty. People just don't want to touch the cans. So I'm saying, number one, who plans a coastal cleanup and then tells and has people leave their garbage right where you just cleaned it up, being vulnerable to wildlife and the elements overnight, let alone it stayed there for 2 nights. I picked it up the second night and took it to the dump myself, which I do often. I do this often because it gets spread around the beach. I think dumpsters are important. Get rid of these cans, have a dumpster where you can shut the lid at night, keep the wildlife out, open it during the day where people can throw their garbage in, they don't have to touch anything. I brought this up to Larry Cantwell. He listened to the idea. He said he thought they were a bit ugly. That was really the only drawback he had. I think I had to remind him, it didn't take much, but how much uglier it is. To see all the trash. I sent him a few pictures, and I said, which is uglier, Larry? A dumpster or this? And then to come to find out, there's so many things you can do. Oh, Larry's been a huge help, believe me. He's on my team, as well as Chief Sarlo, who we spoke to about picking up the enforcement as far as litter goes. We need more enforcement. That's going to be key as well. And even the village police department has been awesome with Mr. Larson and the officers there who have already helped do a little garbage sting at the nature trail.
I wanted to mention, they changed the tops of the garbage pails all around Maidstone Park, where you do now have to touch. It used to be an open thing.
Yeah.
And now I have to put my hand through it. And
Nobody likes that.
And I don't really like it. I do it, but I prefer the ones where I could just throw it in like that rather than pushing it on. The other thing I did want to talk about on the Adopt a Road thing, because I have been wanting to do this and been waiting for it to be finalized. I wasn't sure about putting my name or any name in memory of or anything like that, because I thought, well, that's another sign, and why would I want another sign on my lovely street? But I think what you mentioned is very important, is that it does tell people, hey, you know what? There's somebody who's doing this. And I think you have to do it 8 times a year.
Exactly, 8 times a year. You're correct.
So, I mean, there's somebody here who's picking up what you throw out. And I can't stand when I see cans thrown out from sodas and plastic bottles that people, I get so annoyed with that. But, now that you have talked about it, you've convinced me. I am going to put.
You should. It's a good message. It's showing more and more people are starting to care.
Indeed.
They could have put our names on the old signs. No, this is a new beginning. This is a new step. This is something we're going to take back. We're bringing this back. It's new. We're going to make it fresh again. And I love it. I love everything about it.
Well, I just think it's a great idea, and I'm going to do it tonight.
Good.
When I get home.
And I hope everybody watching considers finding a piece of road to do it for themselves. I think there's enough of them out there, and if we can all grab them, boy, it'd be neat to have one day where we can all coordinate and all do our roads at the same time, and just one of those 8 times. Wouldn't that be neat to just know that at the end of those days, all those roads are litter-free?
And every time I drive someplace like Hampton Bays and stuff, it's amazing. I spot every piece of litter. My eyes go to every piece. I should be going to the trees and to the foliage, and I'm looking at the litter.
I can't help but see garbage everywhere I go.
I know.
It's my only curse, but I pacify it by picking it up.
You're lucky you only have one curse.
Yeah, oh, no, that's not the only one.
because it is very important, and I do hope that people get involved in it. It's a mile that you have to do.
It is a mile, and if that's too long for some people, I don't think there's a problem working that out. I mean, making it shorter. But I could also tell you that anybody that finds out if you have a mile and it's too long, I promise, just give me a call. I'll help you do it. There you go. That ends that problem. I don't care who it is, what road it is. If a mile's too long and you need help, you can call me, or you can call any of my wonderful group of volunteers. They'll be happy to come give you a hand. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. We're in this for the till it's done.
Sounds like you're really serious.
Oh, we're serious.
I
Ooh,
know
you better
you are.
believe it.
Del. I know how you are.
I know.
And I want you to know that the town of East Hampton greatly appreciates.
I know they do, and I'm very thankful.
Especially me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cleanliness
Thank
is
you,
next
dear.
to godliness.
Absolutely.
Thank you.